Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake, for all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs. Go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Chasing the Tide. It's your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dustin Nichols. We got a good show tonight. Good show. I don't know if y'all keeping up on the social media, the IG and the reels and all that good stuff, but man, what a way to grow your brand. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Y'all might even check mine out. You might even run into my alter ego on there. His name is Billy Backlash. So give it a shot. Check it out. Also go follow the Paddle and Fin page there to keep all up to date on all your latest podcast happenings with all the different shows we have. It covers everything. So check them out. Just coming back from a weekend on Caddo Lake on the KBF Trail. Had a good time over there fishing in the cypress swamp. Some good stuff over there. Good friends, some camaraderie. Not too happy with the results. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but it is what it is. A few key fish lost, and that salt guy over there trying to give them bass a run, but it just didn't go my way. So we'll get them next time. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna bring on our guest tonight. We got another one of the Dirty Duval crew in the house. We got Mr. Johnny Carr coming on. Here we go.
What's going on?
What is up, Johnny Too Swole?
That's your boy.
Oh man, I had to come in with that thing. I started that little deal today. I got a little like a Wayne's World blonde like mullet wig.
Yeah.
I got a hat my daughter gave me for my birthday. I'm gonna have to do something about it later. It's pretty dang funny hat.
Shoot,
but I did it today. My man Mike Herman over there in Louisiana, Donkey Bay Swim Bait's been making some great swim and glide baits, and there's a lot of people transitioning those baits over.
I've seen those. His baits look good, man.
I've been doing that quite a little while. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But I did one today with that. I came on there and said, boy. I said, Dustin, boy, what you be fishing with there, boy? Come back, my Backlash Billy. This my alter ego. I'm gonna start doing some little reels and some little funny pun stuff.
It's worth it, man. Have some fun with it.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. Man, what is up, my man? I've been wanting to get you on the show. Been following you for a little while. I have one of the boys from over there, Mr. Rashad, on recently too. So we're gonna get another one of the Duval crew on here. So
my guy.
Give everybody tell everybody who you are, where you're from, a little backstory, what got you into fishing, and then progressed into that plastic boat.
All right, so Johnny Carr, as my bio says, or my little @ name, Johnny Too Swole, which I need to change that. It's been like that for like 12 years now. Back in my football days. But Jacksonville, Florida, grew up out here. Really, you can say Middleburg, Orange Park, all the same thing. Classic Dirty Duval boy.
Yep.
What got me into fishing?
904.
Yes, sir. Duval. And the Jags going to the Super Bowl. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Hey, what got me into fishing? I think I was 9 years old. My best friend, he's passed now, but when we were kids, he invited me to go fish with his dad. So we went out. I caught a black drum and a stingray. Ended up going like 2 weeks later. I actually got channel stuck at the house. Some show with tuna on it. The channel wouldn't go, and I got stuck watching that fishing show for a couple hours. Fast forward as time goes, end up becoming the manager at a fishing club when I was 13 in junior high. Had Captain Don Dingman the fish bites come out, and I've been hooked since. Really what got me into the kayak, being real, I wanted to save money. I've always been intrigued with kayaks, but for here, a lot of our stuff we could wade, and a lot of stuff we could surf fish. So growing up, not having much but other bike and a couple fishing rods, we'd ride up to the river, hop in it, catch reds under docks, catch bass under docks.
Yep.
Then from there, as I got a little older, I actually ended up dropping fishing for a while, football. as I realized I ain't going to the NFL,
Yeah.
I came back to it. End up doing a lot of pure fishing for like bull reds. Never really got on the snook bite. Then got into surf fishing, did a bunch of sharks. I started getting offshore, and then I was like, I want to kayak. I miss catching redfish, and ended up getting the Hobie. Well, first year, technically, I had one from a little Dick's Sporting Goods kayak, a little blue and white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Got a deal for my PA, and then just been hooked since 2017, late 2017.
Yep. Yeah, it's once you get in that boat, man, that plastic boat, get how how close you are to the action and just soaking in all the surroundings and getting to the spots the boats can't get to. It's just something about it.
It's addicting, man.
I'd love to get another boat, but I've had friends get one, and it's like, man, my lower unit went out. I lost my steering. I had to put a new hydraulic system in, had to redo my wire, and had to do this battery, had to do that. It's like, yep, bust out another 1,000. There you go.
Exactly. At least for the kayak, if my drive goes out, I got hands.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna get where I need to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and then just the ease of access. You can just dump it off the side of the road on a little creek somewhere, side of back marsh, side of a bridge. No boat ramp, no problem. That's
don't have to deal with a trailer.
Yep.
No gas.
Yep. No gas needed.
Only thing I need to do is plug in my batteries. Bam.
Yep. Have the batteries ready to go and you're good to go. So what's around the area you're in? How's the kayak scene there now? How's that taking off pretty good? Y'all got a local shop or something or anything like that?
These past, I'll say about 2.5 years, it is completely blown up. Like the kayak scene in Jacksonville is getting almost annoying, but at the same time, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because I do love to see people actually out there doing something they love. Mm-hmm. Annoying because that's more people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I first got my kayak, there was like very selective group. I call them all the OGs. You know what I'm saying? All the guys who've been doing it way longer than me, and those are all the guys I look up to. And then some of these new cats, they come in and they, kind of want to get spoon fed, but it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
We try to teach them the right way and they'll be going.
Yeah.
Since it's blown up, it's, I'll say this past year now, people are starting to find out really where I'm fishing at. And not just me, but like I said, some of the older guys who fish out there. And it's really starting to get a thick crowd. And you got a couple YouTubers. And nothing wrong with YouTube. Just don't put me in the video.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
but
nothing
we
wrong
have
with it. But yeah, don't let me go off on that tangent. I might end up somewhere else.
Like we have a couple shops around here.
Yeah.
Our biggest one actually just closed down, Black Creek Outfitters. And that was the super shop for Hobie, really anything you needed kayak wise. They literally just shut down last month.
Oh wow!
So
just was it lack of business or just something changed in the business mind there or presence?
They end up selling. It's a local family-owned shop, and they ran it. I feel like almost 20-something years.
Wow!
And Miss Liz and they just decided to go ahead and sell. It was their time to retire.
Yep.
Time for them to live their life. And honestly, I can't be mad at it because how much they've done for the community. And then even just for me. Anytime something's been broke on my kayak, it's almost like I really have to pay for nothing. They're just, hey, come on in, drop it off. We'll fix it for you. We'll help you out. And then even when I try to pay, they're like, don't worry about it.
Dang.
Just a real good family-owned shop. Like, still to this day.
In the community is much needed.
100%.
The new owners planning to come back strong, or are they?
So their shop itself is closing.
Okay.
But we have one place I got to keep it under wraps. That's about to be the new Hobie dealer.
Okay.
But then we also have another one, which is another kayak shop, the Ace Hardware. But it's like Coastal Hagen Ace. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of Old Town stuff, but they're also getting Hobies in. So you'll have them, and then I'll say shop number 2 coming on in.
Cool deal. And then there's some shops in St. Augustine.
You've got St. Augustine Paddle Sports.
Yep.
I know Fish Bites Trading Post has a couple kayaks, but nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Yep. But yeah, y'all still got something to cover the need there, and I'm sure something will pop up too. You said there's another Kobe dealer coming online and will be there pretty soon. Another shop that'll be good to go. Keep that community going. That's always
100%.
important in having good backing for your bring tournaments in and different things like that. And the reps from the different kayak companies see that involvement in the community, and the reps from the Yak Gadget, Yak Attack, your accessories companies see that too, and then can help that community out with tournaments, which is always a plus when you have good dealers and a good store around, for sure.
Right, and we definitely got two guys for sure who are I'll say pretty high up, I guess, compared to like the average kayak angler. Pretty high up in the industry, if you want to say, between Franco and Brad. Franco being on the Hobie team and Brad having oh gosh, I got what the name for it. I know Bonafide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got, he's Bonafide, Yak Gadget, some other brands as well. But hopefully with these new shops coming in.
Franco, what's his name?
Franco Natividad?
Natividad, yeah. Yeah.
I should know that because he's literally messaging me as we're talking right now.
Oh, I know. What's up, man? If you watch the show, you'll be looking out for a message from me because I want to get you on here too.
Shoot, I'll tell him the group chat's blowing up.
Yeah, tell him right now. Yeah. Oh, y'all got a little group chat too for the area too. Like we
man. We call it just the Four Locos.
The four locos. There you go. But man, I know y'all's fishery there. Something that we don't deal with here and on the Panhandle in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana is the tidal swings. I grew up in Southeast Georgia, and I seen those big tide swings over there, and I want you to go in. Give me some insight on that and tell me how does that affect where you're going to choose to fish.
So for the people who don't know about the tidal swings here, let's just say it's a straight calm day, no wind, right? Where you launch at, let's say Sisters Boat Ramp, right? You launch at Sisters and say
Creek.
Right there at Sisters Creek. So you launch and say it's 10 feet deep. In 6 hours, it's going to be like 4 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's with no wind. Now you have a west wind, right, and help pushing the water out.
Yep.
It goes from 10 feet to 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. You have a northeast wind coming on in. That tide, say, coming in where it's normally 10 feet, will be up at 15, or even, if it's crazy winds, you have a king tide and the parking lot's underwater.
Yeah.
So that tidal movement is essential with trying to pick a spot, right? So when I'm fishing, I'll say on that side, right? We call that north side. When I fish on the north side, headed up there, it's depending, like for me with the kayak and the PA being heavy, I hate going out at low tide. Now, I don't mind fishing into it, but getting out into a lot of the mud bottom, we got that thick sinking sand.
Yeah.
You got to pick an area with a concrete ramp or something that'll help my big butt scoot on out.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's essential. A lot of people don't know, the tides swing every 6 hours.
Yeah.
So if you're out in the back of a creek and you're not sitting there keeping an eye on that tide, it happens all the time on Facebook. At least once a month, we'll see someone stuck.
If you're not
stuck
following
back there.
that tide out to deeper water in the channels, you're
stuck.
gonna be sitting on a dang mud bank here pretty quick.
And you're gonna be chilling with them coons and the mosquitoes. They gonna come get you.
They gonna come get you. Yeah, you have up to 4 tides a day, and like you said, dependent. You got a strong northeast wind, and that just pushes that water up in there. It just pulls it into, so you don't have a very strong tide swing that day, and that high tide's going to be the low tide. Might even go low. It might hold the tide up.
Exactly.
Push it in. And
might just sit there.
Get a strong northwest wind, like it happens here in Texas. You get that dump. You get a strong outgoing tide. You get a wind assisted tide movement. And it'll bottom that thing out to a negative tide real quick on you.
Exactly. And that thing will be bone dry.
Yep.
Same place where you'll catch fish at.
Yeah.
And you're just dry.
And don't get out your kayak because you're going to go up to your chest in mud in a lot of those places.
I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, there's a lot of the deeper mud over there for sure. Something that's a little different. I know there is spots where you can, on the big tides and flood tides, you can get out and wade and drag your kayak behind you and catch them up in the grass with the redfish tailing and everything. But there's a lot of spots and feeder creeks and all that. Man, it's just waist deep mud everywhere.
Oh yeah, and you'll go from in those flood tides. Speaking of that, that's about to come up here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Man, you can sit there and walk across a flat and it'll be hard like concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And then one foot hits that mud and
Yep. Lose
you
lose
in
your
there.
shoes. So yeah, I
Gone.
can see where that has a big factor in choosing your launch points or coinciding with the tides, where you make sure you launch at a mid tide and then you fish through the low tide and you fish the incoming tide coming back in, to where you can time where you can get back up on that area you launched from, if there is an actual cement ramp, or a floating dock or something. Yeah. Yep.
Something to help you out.
I could see a lot of newbies that aren't familiar with tide swings like having some issues with that one.
Oh, it's
For sure.
unfortunate. It's and like fish wise, man, knowing that tide, because that tide for us, especially in the riverside, can turn those fish on in an instant.
Right. Turn it on.
It could
Yep.
be from, say on the income and the fish are dead, but the tide goes out. And
Mm-hmm.
say you got like a dock near a creek, or a bridge, and it's pushing those mullet out, pushing those shrimp out.
Yep.
Those trout and those reds set up, and you just
They're
gotta
gonna set right
gotta
up.
find it.
Yep. So yeah, that's what we're gonna get into here. We're gonna, your favorite species. Over there is quite a smorgasbord. You get your black drum, your redfish, your trout, flounder, plenty of ladyfish around, and different things.
You know those too well.
If you're, if you soak bait and this and stuff, there's some other side catches and stuff over there. But if you're mainly going to target, inshore species, you want to go for them top three, that trout, redfish, or flounder, and then the occasional black drum on artificial is nice, because those are pretty good table fare.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I will eat them all day long over a redfish or a speckled trout.
100%. I was chasing them today, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Got skunked.
It's fun to try to get them to eat a plastic or a little crab imitation or something. Every now and then you could pick some off. But yeah, them things can be fun if you got some fresh dead shrimp peeled. You can put it down and find a school of them, pick you off 2 or 3 there real quick.
Just have some fun. That's straight
Yeah.
fun fish right there.
Yeah, they're super fun. And then you got the big ones that every now and then you'll wreck into one of them and drag you around for a little while on that old kayak sleigh ride and get you going. But out of those, which one you like to mess with the most?
I'm a trout guy,
You're a big-
100%.
He's got you a good one too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got my thicky. I'm
28.75, was it?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
8 pounds.
8-pounder.
I got a cheap boga, so let's say floating between 7 and 8.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And I'll say, yeah, definitely a trout guy. I love my reds.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the thrill of trout is what got me. Like, just in general, since I've been fishing, I've got 3 redfish over 50 inches.
Yeah.
I've caught them from everything from 1,000s and 8-pound braid up to almost 30 miles offshore, catching bull reds on accident.
Yeah.
And I love them, but they're just not my thing anymore. The fish that has my heart though are black drum. Because that's just like a sentimental. It's my first fish I ever caught.
Yeah.
So I still love my big uglies. They taste great.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, you find a 30, 40 pounder, I gotta try to get it. But target wise, if I'm out fishing, I'm targeting trout every single time.
Yeah. That fish is dear to my heart. There's some great areas around me and close by I can be in Baffin in like 2 hours.
See, that's the goal. I got to get down to Baffin one day.
Come on. There's places I can go in the winter that we won't have to go to Baffin. Well, it turned on a little later this year, but there were some insane bites on those swim baits this year. Like right before when the water was hovering around 62 to 64, before it got a little too cold, like at the end of December, right before I went on to my long outage at work, I was on some good fish. They was some 27 plus coming regularly.
Right, you got some good fish, man. I've been seeing it. It makes me jealous because I'll say this past year has been slow for me size wise. Got the numbers, but the size ain't getting me.
Yeah, and it's what I fished. I fished my first day off on my first like real long break. And it was a tough bite, but high pressure, right after, very small moon, right after the new moon. And they ate in this little small, like 40-minute window. And it was like, when it turned on, they turned on. Like they was eating. I set up where I needed to set up, put the bait in the right spot, presented it the right way, and they was thump, 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 and they was all like 21 plus to 25. They wasn't nothing over 25, but they was all, I had one that's 21 and 3/4. It was damn near 4 pounds on the boga.
Shit.
I mean, she was freaking football. But yeah, trout are dear to my heart, man. I love chasing them things. I mean, if I can chase them all year, I will. I'll give them a break here and there for a couple of redfish tournaments. We're about to kick one off on May the 1st. One of our first PRL series, kayak division, kicking off. So I'm looking forward to that and getting back on the flats, burning spoons and, little curl-tail grubs, burning them on weedless hooks and just watching the redfish come out the potholes and just demolish them.
That's the one thing I do. So what I love about reds, man, when they start going crazy, because for some reason it's like, and it could just be me. Reds, I don't really look at majors, minors, all that. If I could find them eating, they're in day. It goes crazy.
Yeah.
You put something in front of that nose.
Sometime, but them big girls, they're a different species. They get over 25 inches, they start pulling that drag, and the violent head shakes they have, man, it's tough.
They're freaks of nature.
Yeah.
Like there's trout, and then there's trout.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
I didn't realize that.
Some of your tactics over there, I'm sure, they can be used in other fisheries and all that. So this time of year, transitioning, you got some bait runs and stuff. You got some mullet. We're having some menhaden right now running, and a lot of little shad spawn and all that. So sometimes the little smaller baits are a little better. But, man, it just something about throwing that bigger bait, just waiting for that right bite.
The excitement of it.
Like a bigger top water.
Oh, one knocker's enough. Got to have big plugs.
Yeah.
It's just the excitement of throwing that big bait. Like, for example, when you throw a little bait, you'll catch something. Something's going to eat it. But when you throw like a big old glide bait or a big old plug, jerk bait, something big, it's just the knowing whatever eats this got a chance of being a stud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I've had some 15-inch trout knock a 8-inch glide bait out of the water.
Go crazy for
it. To eat it. But then I've had that thump, and I know what it is.
Right, that's a good one.
She come up shaking her head, doing jumps and flips and going airborne on them.
By having a heart attack, they scared of them hooks coming out.
Oh, yeah. And that's definitely a big key right there, is maintaining your tackle. If you're going to mess with some of these big trout, you always got to keep them sharp hooks on them plugs, man. They just
got to.
Their head shakes. You got to have something to absorb all that, pressure and the way they're just, man, they just built different when they get big. They just want to just tear around.
They want to scare you, man. They just live for that. Like
they do.
You got to have the gear for it. And some people, they come across luck and they can catch a big trout on a super stiff, ugly stick or something. But when you really start wanting to fine tune, it's those little differences that save the day.
Yeah, I've got in some discussions online and some YouTube channels. Some guys some YouTuber in Louisiana was throwing, I got my corky rod lined out. I got this, and it's like it was a topwater rod, and it was a bass rod with a big old long, butt stock on it, butt end on it, like a 7.3, big. He said, man, I can bomb this corky as far as I want it. I said, but what about your action? And what about when you get that big trout on? Where's your action in that rod to allow them head shakes and get a little stretch and have some, little bit of wiggle room? You got to have a give and take on them trout. I was just like, man, that's way too much rod. I was like, I understand to each their own, but from experience and
that's just too
chasing
much.
Trout for a long time, you got to have something to absorb that shock of them big old head shakes, man. And
You got to. You don't want to have
medium,
that rod.
medium light, man. Moderate action. You got to have something to load up and shake with those head shakes. And sometimes in the winter, I go to straight monofilament, 12-pound.
That's it.
And you get that extra stretch, and it helps absorb them head shakes so much more. And that
Right, their
guy
mouth is soft.
was trying to go back and forth with me. I said, man, I guarantee you get an 8-pounder on that rod. She going to pull off quick. And I just kind of left it at that. I was like, whew, there ain't no end in that one. He was still trying to jack his jaw off. I was just like, you know what? To each their own. You fish what you want to. I know what I'm fishing.
Right, and when he loses one, he
got an ultra mag in my hand. My corkies.
Hey, I gotta get one of those, man.
Yeah, that new one they just came out with, that salty mag, man. That's a little bit in between the ultra and the HP light.
That's the one I'm really wanting. I like that.
I've had one for almost a year now, and I ain't broke it. And that's the one I used to throw my soft plastics at my redfish schools with, and I'm fighting them around the front of my kayak and underneath my kayak and everything. Jimmy was like, dude, if anybody's going to break a rod, it's going to be Dustin, because he's in that kayak at them extreme angles and all that other stuff. So, yeah, shout out to Jimmy from Waterloo, man. Putting his trust in me to put some rods through some abuse, because I damn sure do.
Smart man. You got to beat it, though, and that's what got me with Waterloo. I have beat the brakes off of these rods, and I've had no issues. No nothing.
Yep. Well, let me know, man, when y'all next time y'all want to grab a few, save that shipping cost, and I'll run them over there when I come over there. And I'm coming in June to my niece is having a little girl in May, so we're gonna come over there. The week of 4th of July, I'll be over there.
Come to Jacksonville?
Yeah, Brunswick. St. Simon.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get with you.
It's 45 minutes away. I'm gonna come and fish with y'all one in the morning. Somebody better have me a kayak. I don't care what they put me in.
Hey, look here. You tell me the day. Hey, being real, Franco. I know Franco got 3 yaks. We're gonna call Franco.
Yep. Get me up in there. But man, big trout. All right. Offshore. How you feel on that? Is that for the kayak or not for the kayak? Y'all got anybody in Jacksonville that goes offshore there catch kingfish on the
Franco.
right days? Yeah, Franco.
I'll tell you what, man. Offshore in the yak, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it.
Right.
The offshore scene in Jacksonville isn't as good. So for us, offshore, our water's pretty shallow, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
For offshore wise, like you control the beaches for king, Spanish, big blues.
Yep.
But compared to like South Florida,
right,
it's completely different. Here you'd have to go 9 miles offshore, and I don't think someone's doing that kayak.
No. Every now and then you get that good cobia run, and you get the kings running, with that mullet.
They'll come along the pier.
Yep, you'll get them in within, half a mile to a mile out, be able to do something. I just didn't know if anybody fishes around the Mayport jetties any.
It's kind of
just too much.
There's a couple guys.
Movement. There's a lot of tidal
exactly,
movement.
and that's the thing that kills it in the kayak. Now, I will say, I don't know these guys personally, but they're like the little Cambodian group they have on Facebook.
Yeah.
Those cats go there for some sheep heads, and there's some bad men right there.
There's some big old sheepies, too.
Big sheepies. And those guys will hit right on the jetties right there in the inlet. Wow. And I give props to those guys because they'll kill that all day.
Dang. Yeah, I know the further south you go, the little better it gets. Down around Melbourne and all that, you get the triple tail that you can target on the beachfront certain times of the year along with the cobia. And then that's further south you go toward, Pompano, West Palm, all that down there. You get them guys, that Extreme Kayak Series runs out of there.
Yeah.
The sailfish. My buddy Brian Nelly's down there pushing water kayak charters down there, putting people on some solid sailfish and wahoo here and there. And, then you got the exotics down there in the canals you can catch. I mean, that's a whole different area down there. Start getting
a different breed of fish.
Different water, the blue water down there. You up in Northeast Florida, sometimes you got that chocolate milk. You got all
that water about dark as me, dog.
Yep. You got the water coming out at St. John's. You got the water from the St. Mary's jetties. You got the water coming out of all the, where I'm from, the Brunswick River and all that, the stuff that comes out there. St. Simon's, Jekyll, Cumberland. You got all those, marsh estuaries feeding all that. So you got a lot more sediment and turbid water up in northeast Florida, southeast Georgia, for sure.
That water gets dirty, man. Every now and then in the winter, If you catch a good old west wind and it hits just right, if it stops, that water turns crystal clear.
Yes. Yeah.
And those are the days I love. Those are some of the funnest days you'll get.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. So offshore, you want to go, but you just like, man, I don't know.
Right. I got a
buddy system for sure.
exactly. If
you got to go with a group.
I'll say one of these days, if like Rich, Franco, Rashad, Josh, if they all want to head down there, I'll do it. Now in South Florida.
Yeah.
But up here, I ain't doing it.
Yeah. And I get that VHF, get a good radio, have all your gear in order. And that's what, anytime somebody new coming into kayak fishing, I'm always like, get your PFD,
Safety, man.
That water's shallow, Will. You gonna need it sooner or later, trust me.
There's gonna be a day if something happens, and I can tell from me. I was a guy fishing where I do most of the time. It's only 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
So I never had the PFD on. What ended up getting was a rainstorm. I got caught in thunderstorm. When I tell you I was terrified, man, I ain't gonna lie. That you seeing the lightning come down just sound like cracks and whips.
Oh yeah.
It's smack in the middle of gator mating season, so I'm watching gators just stick their whole bodies out at me. I'm like, if something happens, I don't know if I'm gonna either flip and my head's face down.
Yep.
And ever since then, I just got me a little my friend Branch from Academy. It's a little chest guy, wraps around, nice and comfy. Just in case something ever happens, I got it there with me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll preach that on and on. I taught water survival instruction in the Marine Corps, and that's some of the hardest swimming and qualifications you have to go through. And I've surfed my whole life, been around the water, waterman, and it's just, I have mine on all the time. And if that don't speak volumes, then I don't know what else to tell anybody.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. Just like
it's there for something happens.
You got to wear a seatbelt. Well, same thing. I mean, I'll preach kayak safety all day and organization on your kayak. I mean, that's something everybody new coming in, you have to be organized on that boat. You only got so much room for so many things. And
got to utilize it all.
Every time you go out, like I'm so precise with everything where I have on it. I know where everything's at. If I have to reach down and grab a knife to cut something, if I'm stuck in some current or stuck on a washout or something, or if I'm on a high flowing river and I get stuck, I can cut something loose real fast. If I got a pair of split ring pliers, I get a hook stuck in my leg from a redfish, I can grab that split ring and get that hook, get it off of me. Just got to have to know where everything's at for sure.
Everything got to, like, I can sit here.
Unexpected. Yep, I can sit here and talk way more about it.
Like, I can tell you, I know where everything's at. If I'm sitting just like this, I got my bogas, pliers, extra paddle, everything.
Oh yeah,
man,
for sure. Well, I know. Speaking about trout, we were talking about that a little bit. There's some pretty good, trout fisheries there in Northeast Florida. One area in particular I'm not going to name. But, I was just wanting to know, how's the pressure of the increased, the effect of the increased pressure, from the small skiffs and kayaks in that area? Is it affecting the fish? Are they harder to catch, those bigger fish now?
Yes and no. I only say no because I don't know it compared to how some of these guys, when I look at the OGs like Slayer and Crusher and Matt Chipperfield, and those guys from years ago out there. Yeah. But looking at it now, I fish mainly during the week, so I don't get the weekend pressure as much.
Yep.
Where most of those guys have in the early morning, late night, they got the bioluminescent tours. They do the kayak yoga instruction with Northbound.
They're like paddle boarders out there in the middle of everything.
Yeah. So you got some people who crab there, which, oh my God, me and them crabbers can throw hands. You got some rookies in John boats who don't know boaters etiquette. And then you got the guys who are grinding, really wanting to fish. So in between all that, you really gotta, in such a tight, confined area.
Yes.
You really gotta try to, pick and choose what you're gonna do and focus. Like I said, for me, luckily during the week, I don't get as much traffic.
Same.
But like today, the only person I ran into was Matt Chipperfield.
Yeah.
It was me and him out there the entire day by ourselves. I didn't see another body until I was leaving. at the ramp, and that was just some people fun getting some exercise on a
Yep.
paddleboard. But it definitely affects it.
For sure.
In a way, because on those weekends, like I said, you really got to focus. If so, you can be sitting here on a flat, and it's only about a foot and a half to 3 feet
Yeah.
deep, depending on where you're at, and you could be in a school of fish, and you got a john boat coming by, and there's only so much room, and
Right.
boom, they burn that flat.
Yep. Like burn, it's
Then
done.
you got the kayak tours and the other people who aren't fishing, so they don't think about it like we do,
Right.
and they're just over here, hey, you having a good day,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
not knowing they're spooking fish.
The spooking fish on top. Yep. Yeah, that's one thing about getting away during the week. I like my schedule and being able to do that too, and then getting on the water at night. That's a whole different story
Yes.
right there. And man, big top water blowups at night where you can't see it, you just hear it.
Just scares you.
Talk about getting your heart racing. Man,
Definitely
I've
nights.
had some great nights underneath a full moon here in Texas. Whew.
Dude, I would love to do more night fishing. Where I fish at, if I could fish at night, there I feel like it'd be outstanding. Ever since really about COVID, they've really restricted it, the game wardens, that area, so they shut the hours down. But my buddy Riley, who used to live here, they just went to Texas for a little while. The guy who got me on big swim baits,
Yeah.
he would sit there and throw those big glides at night under the full moon, and he's got multiple at 28, 29. And even a couple 10-pounders just in there destroying those baits. Oh,
My
the
phone was
fans.
buzzing. I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" Nah, at least the ringer wasn't on. I heard the vibration though. Yeah, man, that nighttime bite can just be amazing, and even for the redfish too. There's way less boat traffic at night. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, what?
And there's way
100%.
less people in kayaks at night too.
Everything. Like for me, if I night fish, mainly I'm in the river.
Yeah.
In that heavy current near all those cruise
Fishing
terminals
some-
and all those lights.
Oh yeah, wintertime, that deeper water. Ooh, man, I got
Yeah.
some industrial areas that are the same way. Some barge terminals and some abandoned docks with lots of deep shell and structure. Wintertime, man, big
Oh,
old
the nastier, the better.
big old Miradon XL down there. Count it down, twitch, whack. Yep, and then the flats in the summer. I got some bait systems here that I can get to some really good grass flats, and you never know what it's going to be. It could be a school of redfish or some just mega trout, and just smashes your top water just out of the silence of the night. You just hear click, click.
Straight heart attack.
And you're like, oh my gosh, lines burning and all that good stuff, rods shaking. Turn your light on. Try to get a glimpse of that silver or whatever.
See
It's
what
gonna
it
be.
is.
Woo, man, yeah. That's
Shoot,
some
that
good
happened to
stuff.
me. Where it's on my Instagram at night. I got a red. She was at like 30, 31 inches, something like that. It was the Premier Trout Tournament last year.
Yeah,
It's me, Franco, and Rich. It's about 3:45 in the morning. We're sitting there actually trying to move from Gators because they're starting to like I say, growl at us. And so I'm smack in the middle of a flat. I'm just like, I'm gonna sit here. I ain't doing nothing else. Throwing a one knocker. I'm watching the Gators' eyes, and I'm just pop, 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 and all you hear is just loud old. And I'm thinking it's probably a gator bit my plug.
Mm-hmm.
So kayak turns, drag starts screaming. I'm like, dude, it's a 30-inch trout. I'm thinking it's massive. Man, it gets next to the kayak. I'm like, it's a dang redfish. And then I put the light in. There's a whole school of reds just coming by.
just pushing. Yeah, I've done that before with the, just blind casting down a bank, burning a bigger swim bait. It's like a 6.5-inch MC swimmer, big bass swim bait, on like an 8-aught owner beast. Burning it, and then all of a sudden swim and just then you hear the jump, and it's like, oh my god, what is that? It's like a 5.5-foot alligator gar. You're like, wow.
You're like, well, there goes that one.
There you go. I mean, when it was thrashing in the water, I was like, I did not know what it was. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a giant redfish, but then the head shakes and the way it twisted when it jumped, I was like, oh. And it got close enough. I was like, man, this is a giant gar. I don't want to have nothing to do with that thing. And that's the thing. We get some of those over here too.
So y'all got those big old gator gars. We got the little cute little cousins.
Little long nose and
yeah.
short nose. Yeah, the alligator gars are, man, we get those in the back marsh all the time where we have some little, creeks and rivers, freshwater rivers that feed into some of the marsh, have brackish water system, and they cruise on into the bays every now and then to the top end of the bays, and they're just there wreaking havoc on everything. So sometimes you get to tangle with them. It's pretty fun.
That'll be fun, man. The kayak. I need at least one time.
Yeah. So you near all them bass lakes too, man. You ever go chase them greenfish or?
Honestly, I've been slacking. So I grew up a bass fisherman, and from Doctor's Lake and south of the river, Black Creek, Crescent, all those lakes as a kid. I loved fishing. Up until I was like 16. But since I've had the kayak, I've been slacking on the bass side. I think I'm too stuck on redfish.
Yeah.
Every now and then I will go. There's like across the street called Wells Lake, right across from my house. Mm-hmm. Launching there. Sometimes I'll go in Doctor's Lake and in the river. But as far as the big lakes like I used to, I've been slacking. But I really want to, especially now they're bedding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cheat. I'm gonna go throw me a tube worm on a bed and go catch one.
Go catch you a couple. Yep. Shoot, yeah. Oh man, I know we was gonna get into that a little bit, but that bass fishing, that's what I grew up. I
love it.
I really started doing that as a young kid because I could ride my bike to all like the neighborhood ponds.
Exactly.
And sneak on the golf courses and catch them hogs out them golf courses.
Trying not to get runs ponds.
Up. Or you make friends with the greenkeepers. I'll say, hey, my end, I told this story before on the podcast. I mean, this might be like a broken record, but my granddad was a fire chief of Brunswick for 26 years.
Ooh.
And that was my, rest in peace, Papa Nichols. That was my end right there. I was like, hey, y'all know Chief Nichols, right? Yeah, that's my granddad. I'm not going to hurt anything. I'm going to throw the fish back. I just want to catch him. I'm not going to leave any trash. I'm not going to do anything. Just act like you never even saw me. And I had my little game plan, and that's what it was.
That's all you need.
Hey, and that got me some of them little private neighborhood lakes. I'd knock on the door. Oh, I say, hey, do you mind if I fish in your pond back there? It's all good. I can swim good. And my granddad's Chief Nichols, and and it'd be all like, oh, okay, you Chief Nichols' grandson? All right. Okay, just be careful back there. All right.
Hey, man, that was the best growing up. I'd sit there, and me and Mikey would have 2 rods. I'd have a Ziploc bag full of Cincos, getting ready to be raking a couple crankbaits. And shoot, I leave my grandma's house about 5 in the morning, come back right as the street lights start flickering.
That's it. As long as I got home before them street lights came on, I didn't get that switch, man. Get that hickory, boy.
Nana had a willow tree right in her front yard, too. She would grab that thing. What?
Oh, they make me go pick my own. They said, go get that hickory. I'm going to bust that butt, boy. My grandma, my JoJo. Rest in peace, JoJo. Yep. Had some good food waiting on that table.
Tan up.
Ooh, man. Don't get me talking about the food we was already talking about before we started recording too, man.
And mine the type, when she cooking, if you late, you going to sit on that patio and watch everybody eat dinner. Mm-hmm. And I'll be sitting there. Mm-hmm. Man, that chicken look real good.
Man, I'm ready to eat again already. I need me a little snack.
Right, I might throw that.
Man, bass fishing, dude. Yeah, it's still in my blood. I still enjoy it because I like competition. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. I like catching bass. Man, I like chasing my big old specks, man. But something about if I can go fish a tournament, even if it's bass fishing or redfish or trout or whatever, I just like I just got a competitive nature and in the camaraderie. That's what really drew me in, was just hanging out with everybody afterwards, talking story, sharing some stuff and this and that.
Yes.
Helping people out,
That's what got me, man.
I'm all about helping people out, man. And teaching them the right way, Like we were talking about before we started recording, time on the water trumps everything.
No matter what.
Everybody out there listening to this, don't depend on that YouTube guy giving you spots. don't fish on history. You fish on conditions and location.
Exactly.
Time on the water is going to trump everything them YouTube guys tell you.
Right. It's like I can go tell you exactly what I did, where I was at.
Yep.
But if you're not sitting there truly focused and dialed in, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. I mean, you may luck come across a fish, but there's no consistency in that.
Yep. Yep. If you really want to learn something, keep that Patreon money in your pocket, save up, and go get a reputable kayak guide in your area.
100%. I will say, like, people ask me, my lady ended up gifting me a charter with Matt Chipperfield
Yeah.
2 years ago. Did some people are like, why would you go get a charter for right there? I didn't care about the fish. I wanted that man's knowledge.
Yep.
When I tell you what, and we became buddies because of this, I basically ate his brain alive with questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't catch a lot of fish. I caught a little 21-inch trout, but I literally just kept asking questions. What do you see here? What do you look for?
Yep.
You know, because I can only see it from my perspective. I want to see how someone else views it.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a little bit of that.
There, man. There's plenty of knowledge. There's plenty of articles online. A lot of good stuff to soak in out there. Podcasts, everything.
That's the stuff people get away from.
Paid for locations from a YouTube fisherman.
100%.
I know I'm off.
Florida Sportsman Magazine is going to do way more for you.
Exactly.
Actually read what these guys got to say, and then go try it.
For sure. Yes, sir. So, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Targeting big speckled trout is what they call pick three. Pick three setups. You got three setups with you. What are they going to be? Baitcast or spin reel? Baitcasters or spin cast? And what's tied on each one of them?
All right. If I'm just hitting anywhere, right, overall,
yep.
3 setups. I got my first one will be my casting setup. It'll be a Daiwa Zillion Coastal, the old OG one, the blue and silver, excuse me, on a Waterloo salinity, medium light. That's for my double D's, 27s.
Oh, yeah.
Then from there, one of my spinner rods, I got my Pink Phantom. And you might know this one. I feel like the Pink Phantom blank is different than the regular Phantom blank. I don't know why. I think it's just different.
It's got a little different feel to it. Yep.
Then I'll have that Pink Phantom on a Daiwa Tatula 1000. And I'll have an L30.
Yep.
A 1000 is 8-pound braid all day.
Yep. That's plenty.
Play Mirror Lure L30. That's it. That's all you need. 10-pound mono, sometimes 15.
Yep.
So that Mirror Lure L30. And then that next one I'll have on is the new Coastal and my other salinity as well. And I'll just have a 3/8 ounce little jig head on 3/8 through 16th. Always. Daiwa all day. Yep. Daiwa, if you watch this, I have only had Daiwa since I was 14 years old. Come on.
And you just got a jig head with some plastics.
Some kind of plastic, whether it's a Fish Bites Dirty Boxer, DSL, just whatever my mood is that day.
Mm-hmm.
But those 3, at least a double D, a L30, and some kind of jig and plastic.
Swim bait, plastic paddle tail. Something you can swim or twitch. Down south, Grande got a good swagger. All that good stuff out there. There's a lot.
And Grande, hey Rashad, I'm coming to steal your Grandes. Just know that.
Yeah, get on there. I got a code.
Get order some. I said, man, let me grab a couple of them things.
Yeah, they got some good swagger when you burning them for the redfish. Man, they come up and just jack them. They got a real good swim action to them.
I mean that wobble.
Them shrimp too. Them shrimp on a popping cork don't play.
I see. Definitely got
for sure.
Got to snag a couple of those.
Yeah. What you think about corkies? You throw some suspended twitch baits over there, like the soft bodied, the corkies. Have you used them over there?
Oh yeah. If I told you how many corkers I had, you probably think I'm a crackhead.
Oh, don't go look at my garage right now because there's probably 50 of them hanging up on one of my racks.
Like the see, I'm in my storage room, but like the classic, you go to Walmart after Christmas, the big old giant Sterilate made boxes, whatever.
Yeah.
For storage. Mm-hmm. I got 3 of those in the garage, just filled. I'm a little bit of a collector.
Yeah.
If I see a color, I'm gonna buy it. Just like Speckled Truth is releasing these
Oh
The Catch Juniors.
There are other colors for them. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get those. But yeah, definitely Corky's. It's not my confidence bait, but I want it to be. But it's like
Yep.
when the fish tell me they want a double D, I gotta listen.
Right.
But
And
like as
they're
far as the action, I
on
love
the
those things,
flats,
man.
on them double D's, the way that thing swims down and then suspends, you can't beat it. And
Dude,
what's
it's
funny
just
about that
money.
thing is I've been catching bass on it.
I could believe it's got that little that swim,
It just wobbles and suspends. It doesn't sink like a
like
lipless
a
crankbait,
27.
like a rattle trap. It doesn't sink.
Yeah,
So you burn it over the top of the hydrilla and pause it, and they come up and just demolish it, dude. I'm
and
telling
it
you,
just sits.
that pistachio one in freshwater is legit.
Best color. It's the best color.
And
That's
then
what I caught my big girl on.
the Pearl Harbor with the gold sides for the redfish. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, I got
then the big one, the XXL pistachio, the real big double D, like the giant one.
That's my next. I just got my first one about a month
Yep.
ago, and I got a salinity for it ready. And once I really start dialing in on where some of the big girls are sitting,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I want to start throwing is that XL.
And jerk baits too, man. You got Jeff Brown painting some damn fine ones over there out of Pensacola, man.
God, Jeff is the man. He is painting the hell out
He's
of
got
baits.
the tuning of the lips down and gets them running, a foot and a half. And for fishing the flats, shallow water over here, I love those. A little Dremel goes a long way to tune them. And I've thrown like regular jerk baits, like Vision 110s and the 6 cents ones and all that. I've thrown them over deep shell for a long time, and I've always used them because it's one of my favorite baits, the target pass in water, 64 to and below. So transitioning that to trout was just something that just came naturally, and there's a big jerk bait craze going.
Oh yeah, especially as of lately.
Real lately, and it's been a long time coming for it to finally get out there. We've kind of kept it under wraps for quite a while, but I'm going to work on an article. Should be coming out in a couple weeks. I was going to write an article about them. Try to get a little more insight and get some stuff shared, about them. But it's a great bait to have in your arsenal. The different sizes, some smaller ones, the 90 size to the 110, and then a 130. Bigger. I just got some of those from Jeff. We're gonna try those out coming up here next couple weeks. As far as over 70,
nice,
they're
man.
all cruising the shallows pretty regularly now. So we're gonna check it out and see what happens.
But yeah, those jerk baits, man. It's one thing. I love seeing it. Come on and start getting popular because growing up, when I started saltwater fishing, watching some, I'll say the OGs, those guys been throwing those bomber long A's and.
Oh yeah.
Even the C29 before it was actually the L30, the bigger L30, and those guys were killing trout, and that's why, dude, if I hit the river, anything past 5 feet, I always got a jerk bait on.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have one.
Good stuff, man. Well, shoot, yeah, right on that pick 3. I hear you on it. Man, we coming up on an hour. Usually try to keep them kind of locked in around then, keep everybody tuned in and not getting distracted listening. It's good for some windshield time and all that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Don't forget to share with all your boys over there. We got that May Mixed Bag tournament coming up, that online challenge.
We're in there. We in there like swimwear.
For 3 bells and paddle and fin, and then I got Waterloo on board, 3 bells on board, Grande's on board, Texas Rattler, and then possibly some other stuff. Trying to get the awards worked out through Catch, so I have some nice little trophies, and then there's a grab bag up for the top first 3 21-inch trout submitted. We'll get a grab bag from Grande and Texas Rattlers. We got some gift cards from 3 bells and Waterloo, and a few other things up my sleeve. So it'll be $60 entry. Go towards the pot. $10 from that will go to the big trout pot. So we'll see what happens, man. Everybody join in. That's on Fishing Chaos. Just look up Chasin the Tide, 3 bells, May Mixed Bag Challenge. I'll post a link on my personal pages, Dustin Nichols BTX. Y'all give Johnny a follow there at
Johnny Too Swole.
Yeah, I'm gonna put his right here. Scroll him across the bottom. Y'all check it out there. He's got it on the screen there. Y'all give him a follow on Instagram. JONNYTOOSWOLE. And y'all, thanks for watching. Chasing the Tide. Follow on my adventures on Instagram, and also follow Paddle and Fin at Paddle and Fin. The letter N and Fin. So yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in and listening. Hope you had some good windshield time. If that's what you're doing, I like to hit old play on the podcast, Castbox or Apple or Waypoint, wherever you're watching us. We appreciate everything. YouTube, wherever. Thanks for tuning in. Without the listeners and everybody watching and listening, this wouldn't be possible. So we appreciate that. Most of all, appreciate the guests coming on and sharing their knowledge with us, and sharing a little bit about the area, Duval. We got a few other guys over there I want to get on the show too. We're going to try to continue with that little trend there. We try to reach out to people all across this country that enjoys saltwater fishing. So anybody out there listening, has anybody from California that wants to come on? That's somewhere we haven't had a guest from yet, and I'd love to dig into some of them yellowtail, lingcod, and California sheephead. I'd like to talk to somebody about that kind of stuff over there. So
that stuff looks fun, man.
Yeah, that looks fun to me too, man. And the calico bass around Mission Bay and all that good stuff.
Those big old swim baits.
Mm-hmm. Somebody has some insight on that and forward me some info. Post it up, send us a message on Paddle and Fin, and we'll get something working on that. But yeah. We'll give you the stage right here, brother. Any shout outs or sponsor blast or whatever, go ahead, man.
Hey, my man. First, I just want to say, appreciate you again for bringing me on, man.
Right,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out wise, hey, I got to shout you out, brother. And then I got to shout out the homies, man. I got my boy Rashad, who's been on here. I appreciate him as a, little mutual friend between us. You got the Four Locos, me, Rich, Franco, and Justin. And then really, shout out to Resellers Reef, man. That's one of my local shops here. It's not a sponsor. I mean, I work with them, but that's just a good friend of mine. And no sponsors yet. I got one in the wraps. It's actually a good company, so
cool deal.
See how that one goes, and then hey, Hobie, Waterloo, Daiwa, come at your boy.
Come on. We need a Waterloo. We need a Waterloo on the East Coast over there. Come on.
Hey, look,
I might know somebody.
I'm your guy. I don't even need free stuff. Just let me get a hat.
Yep, there you go. Oh, we'll have some of them to give away too. Come on, coming up. Yes, sir.
Yes,
yeah,
sir,
man.
My man.
Shoot, yeah, brother. Appreciate you coming on. Be
my man.
Be visiting you over that way coming up 3-4 months in July.
When you get a date, let me know. I'll take off work and we'll head down there, man.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for what you do too, man. Everybody out there. My man's in law enforcement, so big shout out. Support our blue, back to blue, man. There he is.
That's your boy.
Yes, sir. Johnny Too Swole in the house, and we wrapping up Chasing the Tide. Hope everybody has a great evening, and we out.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.
And we out. Y'all have a good one, though. Thanks for watching Chasing the Tide on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network.